Hey, what's up guys? Jason here with Soulfire, continuing this recovery coaching series. So at this point, we've identified your behavior. Where are you right now along your journey to recovery? What are the behaviors you would like to see out of your life within the next 6 to 12 months? Then we spent some time writing out your story and identifying that there are things in your past that have led you to be to the place where you are right now. And we've also looked at painful events. What are the wounding and difficult experiences that have caused you to get to the place now where you want to medicate your pain through addiction or sexual sin? Now, if you haven't checked out those videos, let me encourage you to do so. I'll drop a link right up here for you to go ahead and look at those first. I want to encourage you, check those out first before we continue on this recovery coaching journey. Because today I want to talk about what is it going to take for you to get to freedom. You see, if you're feeling stuck, as you've looked at your story and as you've realized, hey, maybe it's been years that you've been stuck in slavery to addiction. You know, as I think of my story, it was a full 10-year period where I was addicted. And there was a long time where I felt very stuck in my behavior and the things that I was struggling with, particularly with pornography addiction. Well, what is it going to take to break out of that rut that you are stuck in? Well, if you check out the scriptures in Matthew 5, Jesus talking about the difficulties of sin, he actually advocated for radical amputation that would be necessary to get you to a place of freedom. And particularly when he was talking about lust and looking with our eyes and adultery, he said, hey, it would be better to actually pluck your eye out to get to the place of freedom than to remain stuck and for it to even risk your own soul and the own outcome of your soul. So Jesus advocated for radical amputation. Now, when I think of an example of this, imagine a truck who is on an old dirt road and is stuck in a really deep rut along the side of the road. And you've been in this rut for a while, and if you continue straight, your tires are just going to stay in that rut. And as you think of a deep rut like that, is it going to take a slight adjustment of the wheel to get you free and out of that rut? No, right? It's going to take a serious adjustment of the wheel. You may even need somebody to come along and actually pull you out of that rut. And in a lot of ways, that's what I think about when I think of sexual addiction and porn addiction, that you are stuck in a rut. We need to see some serious adjustments. We need to see some radical steps taken to get to freedom. So let me challenge you with this. As you think about your story, as you answer that question, hey, am I an addict? Are you willing to do whatever it takes for a short period of time to have a lifetime of freedom? Let me put it to you like this. Would you be willing for 2 years to take drastic measures, to do whatever it would take to get you to a place of freedom? What if that even meant having no smartphone for a period of time, putting serious boundaries on your computer, limiting media that you are willing to watch or to listen to, getting a trusted friend who, for a period of 2 to 3 months, would be willing to check in with you every single day to get you to the place of freedom. Now, as I think about what it's going to take, I think about you joining a small group, finding a small group in your area. If there's one not in your church, then you look for other churches that would have one. Or you keep pestering your church until they start one. Use something like the Conquer series or another small group curriculum. Would you consider building your knowledge base, getting an education using videos like this or some books that I've recommended here on this channel? Get an education to do whatever it takes to get you to the place of freedom. You see, I think it is worth it for a short period of time for you to do whatever it takes to experience a lifetime of freedom. And the scriptures show and prove, as you read the scriptures, that freedom from addiction to sin is possible, that God has been in the business of redeeming brokenness for as long as there has been brokenness. Now, most of the researchers would say it takes a 90-day period of freedom before your brain is really able to reset and you begin to experience a change in your battle against sexual sin, and particularly pornography. So for 90 days, would you be willing to do whatever it takes to get to a period of freedom? And beyond that 90 days, most would say it's a 2 to 5 year journey for full freedom. Now, I believe freedom is possible. I believe you can do it. I have hope just from my story and from hundreds of other stories that I have heard and been able to be a part of as well. Well, let me leave you with this. It's a promise from the scriptures in Isaiah 61 that Jesus proclaimed was true of himself. And Jesus said this in Isaiah 61, "The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to those who are bound, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor, the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn. Now, if you can relate to that, you feel like you are bound in prison and you are brokenhearted, that is exactly what Jesus has come for. So let me challenge you in this video. Do whatever it takes. I want to challenge you. Get out a sheet of paper, make a list. What is it going to take for you to get to the place of freedom? What are you willing to do for the next year or two to take radical steps to get to freedom? Thank you. This is Jason for Soulfire, continuing our Recovery Coach series. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe, click that notification button to be notified of upcoming videos in the series. Thanks so much. Have a great day.